Each year, the popularity of professional football continues to grow, and the game itself grows more sophisticated. The actions of 22 men are spread out and fast-paced. Sometimes the game even has the sound of a foreign language.
Shift 3, wing fly, right 35 ISO on the color.
Wing shoot over 4, ready? Jumping.
Shift to a blue left opposite, fake buck 45, slide right 86 pass.
Hey, now get to those zones. All right. Nose under, banjo stay, ready?
Red T fullback, motion right, 24 lead on the audible.
43 over gap 8, stay, ready?
Don't let him out now.
Shift to brown right flip. To have a Y motion right, 138 on 3.
Shift to 44 to a 56 stack, pow.
Trips right, zoom, 39 sweep bob, I'm 2 down. Ready?
The line of scrimmage can be madness before the snap.
Double wing left! We're coming back here, coming back here.
Got a slot, double wing!
Hey. Watch the screen, baby.
On you, dog. Lion!
Area.
Key down, key. Key.
Once the ball is put into play, the ability to keep pace with the proceedings isn't always easy.
Get up in it, home! Get up in there! Okay, let's do something with it! Come on, D! Die, you dogs, die! Die, you yellow dog!
At least you ought to block somebody in there.
Come on, let's go! We ain't won nothing yet, let's go!
There is a pattern in the middle of this apparent chaos, if you know where to look.
Score! Dog it!
Great call! What a great call!
7 of the NFL's top head coaches are about to help you learn how to look. These coaches will teach you how to watch pro football.
When we went into the game the first time, we felt that pitch 38 and 39B would be a good play. And I think that's a good idea.
For head coach Sam Retigliano's Cleveland Browns and the other teams in the National Football League, there are only 6 days to prepare for game day.
Firmly establish a good run game by the use of pitch 28B, pitch 38B, slant 39.
In the position to handle the sweep game. Now you go to their 2 outside receivers and you know they've got 2 fine ones.
One thing that they will use is a weak side tornado when they bring 76.
This preparation and planning evolves into a game plan. Sam Retigliano explains.
The game plan formulates itself through the process of us viewing film of the team that we're going to play. We have an opportunity to look at the previous 3 games, and from that we try to initiate what they do offensively in all the different type of situations, what they do defensively in all the different type of situations.
After many hours of repetitive film study, an opponent's tendencies start to surface. Once they are charted, an appropriate counterattack or game plan develops. During a week's preparation, every game plan appears sound, but the only true test comes on game day. Here, a game plan must be both well-conceived and flexible.
Brown slot, big hunch.
Blue right tight, close peel, double dive 222.
Run past 37 power O, wing go.
Split rip, sail, 36 power O.
2 open, H fly, 78 SQ.
Double up left 28 solid.
Shift T motion 6, 74 semi H read.
94, fullback, banana, hot right.
West, I, 2 tight ends, 77 and X, 28 pick.
They sent in the 74, but I thought the 78.
The dialect and strategy can be complex.
Yeah, let's go with
Pro G, 397.
It can also be schoolyard simple.
What we got to run, I'm telling you, it sounds crazy, is an 888 deep down the middle and hope we get a pass interference, don't you think?
Every formation and play in a game plan is carefully cataloged in a playbook. Each team has a different one, but while they all share the complexity of today's game, a simple understanding of some of a playbook's information can help you to learn how to watch pro football.
In a playbook, you have your system, your terminology system. Everybody uses something different to say the same thing. There are so many things. It so involves so many different plays and formations and such. You put in your total offense, and so if it's in the book, we should all know it, they should know it. The side the tight end is on is the strong side of your formation. You have the guard, the tackle, and the tight end. A 3-band blocking pattern there. The weak side, or the split side, we hate to use the word weak because then everybody thinks they're weak, is where the split end is. So you have one less blocker over there. To run that side, you must use a halfback block. He shouldn't, and usually isn't, as good a blocker as a tight end. Just by formations, you can pretty much predict where the ball's going to go. I get a kick out of the telecasters who say they're going to run to the right this time. Well, the tight end is on the right side. 80% of your plays will be run to that side, so 80% of the time he's right, and everybody says, boy, does he know football. Let's say your tight end is the right side. Your tailback lines up onto the weak side, towards the weak side tackle. That is called by most people a pro set. In that set, you're going to run somewhere around 75% of your plays, probably from the right guard back to the split side. So we play that as a weak side running formation. Split formation, all it means is that the fullback moves himself over into the strong side of the formation. You have nobody in what the people know as the normal fullback position. You can sweep from it fairly well at times. To me, that formation leads more to passing because you have 2 backs now that are closer to getting out to the outside or getting into the flats quicker. The I formation basically is the quarterback, and then the fullback is in a 3-point stance, and behind him at various distance is the tailback. He's 7.5 yards deep. It is the one formation, in my opinion, that you can run outside to either side. You can run up the middle with it if you have a good blocking fullback with some very good plays. Also, the I back is the only back that's up in a 2-point stand. It gives a good runner a chance to really run for daylight because he gets a complete view of the play. Every formation has tendencies, so that's the first thing we have to know. The 4-3 is, or the 40 defense as we call it, is a 4-man rush concept. The 2 defensive tackles are over your guards. 2 defensive ends are slightly outside your own tackles. You have a weak side linebacker, and you have a linebacker who's always over your tight end. And there's a middle linebacker. He controls the charge of those people. There are various stunts they can use and such. I think one of the primary strengths, and for years, people still use it, you have 4 men to rush. 4 men who are taught to rush, work and rush, and with the various stunts you get in and the way they can overshift it and such, you can get in a lot of other defenses too. The alignment of the 3-4 defense is that there's a man on the center. There's 2 defensive ends in the ball game over either tackle, and that's all the down linemen you have. You have a linebacker over the tight end, and you usually have a linebacker on the split side and 2 linebackers inside. We think we add team speed by taking a linebacker that's 230 or 235 and taking down a 260-pound tackle. We think the pursuit quality is very good. We can bring any one of our linebackers to give us a 4-man rush. We can bring them all, give us a 7-man rush. When you throw against it, they drop 8 guys back there. There just doesn't seem to be any room to throw the ball. Now, you can throw short against it and things like that, which people do. But again, I say that I think it's a very good defense. The fan, if he's sitting up in the seat, he's already said what he would have run. But what he would really like to know is what we're going to try to run. And by the formations, by where the tight end is, if he knows all those things, he has a better chance.
I would say defense is very much a planned, coordinated attack. At one stage, I think, in the National Football League or in football in general, defense anyway was a sit, read, and react. And we found over a period of time that when you let the offense dictate to you, you can't be too successful defensively. So I think the thing has kind of changed a little bit to a point where you defensively have a plan of attack. We're trying to come off the ball, control the line of scrimmage, control the blockers. You're trying to force the offense to react to you, and we do that with a planned attack. Everybody has a first job. Let's say a defensive tackle, for example, is sitting in there, and he's responsible for the area between the center and the guard. After he establishes his prominence in that area and sees that the ball is not coming, then he has to find the ball and pursue, and that's generally parallel to the line of scrimmage, and in a cutoff manner so that he intercepts the ball carrier as he turns upfield. There are several theories in stopping or defensing the run. One of them is to take a gap, everybody assigned a gap, and attack it, not allow a team to have a gap. Another one is a reading type defense where you get a lot of flow and a lot of pursuit, and you get a lot of people in a gap, plus somebody behind them if you read and react properly. Well, to stop the sweep, the primary responsibility falls on your 4 people in the secondary plus your linebackers who are engaged in a support. They have to read the difference between pass and run. As soon as they get a run key, they have to respond to the run accordingly. The job of the primary support man, the corner or the safety, who's ever involved, is to recognize the run and get to it in its formative stage. You may have coverages where your strong side backer could be the primary support man, but all the thing is coordinated so that you have a scheme to stop the wide plays. Usually you're going to have a big lineman coming out to block on them, and what we try to do is get enough penetration and dissipate the blockers and to keep it closed down. Of course, he's not doing it alone. He's got other people that are working with him. So he has to make sure that he's in a position where he can contain it. Or he can force it, pressure it so much that it's forced deep, and then the pursuit can enter into the play. pass rush is the thing that separates the National Football League, I think, from any other form of football. You really have to develop the techniques to rush the passer, and there are many techniques, and these are skills that are developed over a period of time. We're after getting in his way, getting in his face. Hindering his ability to see downfield. Make him put it up in the air as quickly as possible. They can't throw the ball, they can't follow through properly. We want to limit the amount of time that the quarterback has to throw the football. So obviously you've got a different rush technique based on how the quarterback's set. If you got a shallow setting quarterback, you want to pressure in the middle. If you've got a deep setting quarterback, then you want to come around the outside and be a little more effective that way. It's not only an individual pass rush one-on-one where one man is against one defender, but you'll get involved in what we call games or planned pass rushes where we're stunning and trying to help one another on the pass rush. There's a tackle-tackle game where the two inside people are involved in a cross. What you're trying to do is get penetration inside with one of the defensive tackles and then the other one coming around the outside. We call that a tackle-tackle game. And then you'll have tackle end game. The tackle end game is the tackle going first and then the end coming around underneath in a crossed fashion. And then the other one is an end tackle game. You can have the end jumping in a gap, blowing it with your tackle coming around. What you're trying to do is pressure them. All these things fall into place. And then, of course, there's the blitz, the area where you come with your linebackers and your secondary people who normally are covering on the pass to get a great deal of pressure on the passer, on the quarterback, and try to disrupt what they're doing. We'd like to get to the quarterback and sack him. I mean, that's our primary thought. There's no question about that. But we also want him to be conscious that we're coming after him. He knows the rush is getting close. Now, if you'll get rid of the ball quickly, then it's going to help our pass defense. Well, I think you have to play great defense to be a champ. If you can't stop the other team, you never give your offense enough opportunities. So we want to make things happen defensively.
Pass coverage ties in with the defensive lineman's rush, and in order to have a complete defense, you have to be able to do two things. The defensive backs have to have tight coverage on the receivers, so when the quarterback looks up, he can't just fire the ball. And if you have the tight coverage, then the quarterback is going to have to hesitate, and then that gives your rush a chance to get to the quarterback, and you get the sack and the big defensive play. Man-to-man coverage is exactly that. That means that your two corners are going to be man-to-man on the two outside receivers, and then your strong safety is going to be man-to-man on the tight end. Your weak safety can either be free in the middle of the field to help out, or he can be committed weak side. to help on the weak back coming out of the backfield. The linebackers have man-to-man coverage on the backs that are coming out of the backfield. This, in the strict sense of the word, is man-to-man coverage. It's usually done when you're blitzing and you're committing your linebackers. You have to line up and play straight man-to-man coverage. One of the most interesting plays for the fan in the stands and for everybody except the defensive coach is the receiver running free and catching the 40 or the 50-yard pass down the field for the easy touchdown. But since zone defenses came into play, you see more and more short passes that are coming into play because the defense is designed to stop the home run or the bomb. Zone defense, as far as I know, dates way, way back. I broke in as a defensive back in 1951, and they were playing some forms of zone defense at that time. Since then, it's become more and more sophisticated. But in a basic three-deep zone with a corner man rotated up on the short outside, the strong safety has the deep outside, the weak safety goes to the deep middle of the field, and the weak side corner is responsible for the deep third on the weak side of the formation. The linebacker on the strong side drops to the inside zone, the middle linebacker works to the short inside zone, and a weak side linebacker works hard outside to take the short outside cut away from the weak side receiver. An inverted zone means that instead of the true outside rotation with a corner man coming up and the strong safety going to the deep outside, on an inverted zone, the strong safety will run to the short outside and the corner man will drop back and take the deep third of the field on that side. When the ball moves one way or the other, the zone tightens down to the side that the ball moves. A weak side zone means that the defensive backs are rotating away from the strength of the formation to the weak side. When they're rotating to the weak side, this means that the three linebackers then will drop to the strong side to give you the short zones. This is used generally when a team has a great threat as a weak side receiver. In the last 10 years, the coverage that's really come into effect in the National Football League that's caused a lot of headaches for quarterbacks and receivers is the double zone. This is where the two safeties just divide up a half of the field. And then you have 5 people to work with underneath. You still have 4 people rushing, and this, again, is confusing to the quarterbacks, and defensively it gives you another way to go to keep varying your defenses. Your normal setup is 4 defensive backs. A nickel defense is a defense where you employ 5 defensive backs in a ball game. You substitute a 5th defensive back for a linebacker. The nickel is used in an obvious passing situation, 2nd down and long yardage, 3rd down and long yardage. In order to play an effective zone, you have to, first of all, be able to delay the receivers as they come off of the line of scrimmage and keep them from getting down and causing separations between the short people in the zone and the deep people in the zone. It really gets to be a cat and mouse game.
The running game, to me, sets the standard of your offensive football team. Pro football is a tough physical game, and I think teams that run the ball real well establish that they are a tough physical football team. Well, They get the big plays maybe more through the passing game, but they establish the mental outlook and the mental attitude of their football by reestablishing the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball. You really start a running tack from the ball out, starting over your center and your two guards and working out. We like to run inside because it's a positive game type play. You can run inside with as many ways inside and variations of blocking as you can run outside. First off, you start with base blocking, or man-to-man, one-on-one top blocking. Then they usually go into a full blocking where the center blocks one way and the offside guard pulls up through the hole, say against the even defense. Against the odd defenses, they'll see the defensive nose guard double teamed by a center and guard, and the other guard pull up and inside on the onside linebacker and block him. You'll all see the other kind of blocking is the finesse blocking, where they pull a lineman and run right where they pulled him. Sometimes you try to take advantage of the great reading defensive lineman by misleading him, giving him a counter read. They call it influence blocking. You'll see what we call sucker blocking, where a lineman will pull one way and then a back will come in and block the man as he chases the lineman pulling. The trapping game really infers that you're going to, like a mouse trap traps a mouse, an offensive lineman's going to trap a defensive lineman. Really is a descriptive term. A guy is getting trapped just like a mouse gets mousetrapped. Someone coming from the offside whacks you rather than the man right in front of you. And you open the hole vertically a little bit rather than laterally. We speak of off tackle as being in your tight end tackle area. We try to run in there by power blocking with our tight end and our tackle on one defensive end and trapping with the fullback on the outside linebacker and running up in there that way. But it is tough to do. Maybe tougher than running inside. Many blocking schemes are called on the line of scrimmage. We have terminology and they work out their own terms.
Area. Set! 339! Scoop! Fire!
We make calls when we're bluffing calls.
Area.
We make calls when we're actually using the call being made.
Switch!
You really have to communicate to be a good offensive lineman.
He scored! He scored! He's got it! He scored!
The sweep game is not as it used to be in the old Vince Lombardi Green Bay Packer day.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
You don't see many teams just taking the ball with both guards pulling and a fullback, what we say bob blocking a linebacker, and the halfback, far back, carrying the ball outside. It's getting tough to do. What you see now is people lining up in a variety of formations and using wing backs and men in motion to come back in and shut the door on the inside-out pursuit. Get the key block that cuts the defense, so all of a sudden there's a pile inside and the running back's outside. You see a lot of I formation teams now with the ball being tossed out there and keeping the line of scrimmage clean with no penetration, allowing a good running back to then run to daylight outside, which is a little bit different concept and actually I think came from college football. If I were a fan going to a pro football game, I'd start studying the offensive line play. I'd study the two offensive guards. Usually if a team is going to run right at people, those guards are coming straight off the ball. If they're going to trap, then you'll see one guard pull and head in the direction that they're going to trap. If we're going outside, you'll see the onside guard coming outside in front of a running back. But if they'll watch those two guards, most of the time they'll end up knowing where the ball's going.
Well, the importance of the passing game is what makes, I think, the National Football League, unique. I think it's the thing that enables us to have the wide open game that we play today. It's an integral part of the game. Almost everything in the NFL, from an offensive standpoint, is determined by the formation that you're in. Anytime you see a split backfield, then you know that the team is in their strongest passing formation. Now, they'll pass from other formations like the I formation, or they'll pass with the fullback in position. But about 90%, when you're in a sure passing down, look for the split backfield. When we set up our pass routes for our receivers, we set up what is known as the passing tree. The reason we do that, it looks like a tree. If we want Drew Pearson, for example, to go down and run a 5-yard square out to the sideline, we call this an out. If we want him to go down, say, 7 or 8 yards, we'll call it a square out. If we want him to go to 15 yards and run the sideline, we call it a sideline route. It's the same way going inside. And he'll go down about 3 or 4 steps, and then he'll zoom in. And if he wants to run it down in, he may go 5 steps and break it at a certain angle, 30 or 45 degrees. Or if you want him to run a turn in, he'll go to 15 and come back to the quarterback on the inside move. Or a post move, obviously he's going to the post. If he's going to the flag, he's going to the corner. And when it all ends up, you got a tree. Not a very good-looking tree, but you got a lot of branches going every direction. The passing game is dictated by the pass defenses that are being played. Whether it's a zone or whether it's a man-to-man coverage. Remember, in the NFL, when we go into a ball game, we're working probably against 14, 15 different pass defenses during that game. So what you do, you design a pattern, which means everybody has a designated route to run. The quarterback then must key the pass defense and go to the receiver that's beating that defense. One of them will always be open if you can just move one of them the right direction. All he's doing is timing himself up with the receiver. If the receiver's going short, you'll see him 3 to 5 yards back. He'll come back there quick, throw the ball. The receiver's going deep, you'll see him back at 10 yards and throw the ball. Now, when you're running a pattern that's breaking into a zone defense, which means you have to work into the seams between the short defenders and the deep defenders, then the timing is not as important as the anticipation is. Because in order to throw a ball into the zone, you must throw before he gets into the seam between defensive men. You try to anticipate the receiver coming into a seam, and you throw the ball in the seam before he gets there, and you usually do it. There are gimmick plays, say like a halfback pass. We still have what we call the old flea flickers. A lot of times you can fool a zone defense because most zones, They're schooled to read run or pass. If they can read the run, they'll start up. And then that's about the only time a gimmick play will get behind them.
White knuckle time at RFK Stadium. Livingston, the quarterback. 1:22 left at the 36-yard line. Here's the reverse. It's a flea flicker. It's back to Livingston. He goes long down the near sideline. Brunson wide open. On the flea flicker. Touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, I don't think it's ever any limit to innovation or pass offense. I've seen it since I've been in the league from the 50s where we had probably 2 pass defenses. And I've seen it develop into zones now. And our zone attack is getting better and better. And I think this is what will happen in the future. They'll continue to try to spread the zones out with more receivers so your seams are wider between defenders. And when they do, they're going to be more effective. So I think the ability to be successful in the passing game in certain situations is the thing that enables you to have a good offense.
He looks downfield, has time, cranks it, going long for Swan. He's got it. Swan, touchdown, Pittsburgh.
In my opinion, the kicking teams are exactly equal in importance to the offense and the defensive games. We feel that a team which is very strong offensively and very strong defensively and is weak in the kicking game is 66% of a football team, and that isn't good enough to win in this league. It certainly isn't good enough to win a championship. First of all, when I talk about good kicking teams, I'm never talking about the kickers. We assume that they're very proficient and they're very good, and on some teams they're better than the other. The teams in the league that have good kicking teams have great performers on the coverage units and on the return units. All we really tell them to do is to run hard, maintain a general relationship to the other people, and swing the gate closed. If there's a break in your coverage at any time, you're in trouble. Usually someone left their lane or someone missed a tackle. So there's usually some type of breakdown. And believe me, a good punt return, the dangerous part of it is those first 3 to 5 yards. Once the great returner can do what he wants to do during that period of time, he becomes an all-the-way threat. We do not think in terms of going all the way on a kickoff return. That may be negative. We use the 30-yard line, both when we're returning kickoffs and when we're covering kickoffs, and say that is the break point on success or lack of success in returning it. We are trying to ram the ball very hard and tough with a well-disciplined wedge out to at least the 30-yard line. It's the job of the wedge to move forward in unison with no specific assignment of player whom they block on the other team, and lead the return man in the direction he's going. The wedge against the wedge buster is one of your classic confrontations on a team, and again, for the fan, he ought to watch the 2 players on either side of the kicker and the 3 or 4 men on the wedge. The single most important element of our entire kicking game, we feel, is punt protection. That may sound like a negative. You're trying to keep a mistake from happening. In a normal situation, you have to get a punt away in 2.2 seconds. We allot 0.9 for the snap, and then 1.3 for the kicker to handle the ball and get it away. So 2.2 is the time. I would much, much rather have a punter on our team who could kick 40 yards regularly, but hang the ball in the air 4.8 or 4.7 would be good. 5 seconds flat, that's very good. One of the most important men on the field goal or PAT protection team is the wingback on each side. He has a difficult responsibility. He has to seal his inside gap first, but he has to seal it in such a way so at least he doesn't remove his leg or remove his hip or remove his shoulder so that a rusher can come through the area he's vacated. If the wingback becomes totally concerned with closing down, he leaves himself very vulnerable to a good skimmer. The middle rush is a relatively recent innovation in blocking field goals and extra points. The idea on the middle rush is for the interior people to drive very hard to get movement backwards of the offensive line so that one or two leapers, fellows who have good spring in their legs, can get close to the kick, catch the ball while it's still on the rise, and therefore block it. The kicking teams are called bomb squads and suicide squads and kamikaze squads. I think in large measure it's a little bit of picturesque speech and patter. It is not just a matter of people going out and having a brawl between offensive and defensive plays. It may look like mayhem once the action starts, but there is a discipline to it, there is a plan, there are proper techniques that you can execute, and the teams that are successful in the kicking game area are those who do master those techniques.
For every situation in pro football, there are two conflicting points of view: the defense and the offense. Nowhere on a football field is this conflict more intense than near the goal line. Strategy here is generally simple and molded around brute force. So little yardage can mean so much, and in this chapter we will learn of the careful planning that is involved in this brief yet vital clash. First, Marv Levy will discuss the strategy behind the goal line offense. Then Don Shula will use the same footage to discuss the goal line defense. The action here is fast-paced, but if you know what to look for, you'll be able to recognize the attack and the countermeasures that determine success or failure in pro football's no man's land, the goal line.
There are plays in the game which are weighted more heavily than most other plays in the game. And on the goal line, this is certainly the case. You've come a long way to get to pay dirt, and now it's the moment of truth. You don't get that many opportunities in the game, and you've got to pay off on them, and your team has to have the mentality that they're going to get that ball in the end zone when they're down there. It takes a great mental toughness on both sides of the line of scrimmage at that time.
Third down, goal to go, Kansas City for the touchdown at the 1. 15 seconds to go. Everybody up there. Pitch to Reed around the left side. He fumbles the ball. A Seahawk, no, still loose. Seahawks diving on it. Still a loose ball, and finally Seattle recovers. Seahawks win it.
Most teams in the goal line are going to go back to your old Neanderthal football. You're fighting for a yard per down or for inches. They're going to come in with two tight ends, and they'll usually use power running backs in the backfield. Some teams will go back to the old Model T, 3 backs in the backfield. Teams are seeking to muster maximum strength, maximum power, maximum size. When you attack the middle, you're just hitting in there in the most direct manner you possibly can, trying to outmuscle an opponent. So you take the most conservative, inch-forward type of approach that you can get. Preventing defensive penetration is extremely important. The key really is prevent penetration by the defensive lineman so that the back is close enough so he's not taking off from so far back that he's easy to find, he isn't gaining the desired distance. So preventing penetration is of great importance. Usually a linebacker is told to go up and kiss the hurdler. In other words, put face mask to face mask is the only way he can stop it. The defense is mustered and has to be thinking run first. They have to stop minimal gains. Therefore, if you can simulate one of your basic running plays very closely and have a pass play which strikes very quickly off of it, your chances for success are there. You've got to do it in a situation where the run is at least the more likely play, not where it's a 50-50 or less possibility. Play-action passes are a very important part of every team's goal line offensive scheme. Great feelings of confidence are inspired in a team by virtue of the success they have in goal line and short yardage situations, offensively and defensively. The winner comes away believing, and they're more confident. They tend to see single most important thing down. Yeah, he has to be blocked for and all of that, but there are some guys who are going to get themselves into the end zone. That's really the most important single factor.
So it's down to this one play, 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. The Oilers must score a touchdown. A field goal will do them no good. It'll be decided at the goal line. Dan Pastorini, the quarterback, hands off to Ronnie Coleman, running wide around his right side. Breaks the tackle at the 5, to the 3, the 2, fights his way, touchdown Houston. What a brilliant effort by Ronnie Coleman. Houston has won the game 20-19.
Hey, let me give you a kick. All right. Hell of a run, Ronnie.
Backed up against their own goal line, there is only one recourse for a defense, and that is to attack. A field of 100 yards is compressed into 5 yards or less, making a defender's role simple. Make these short yards the toughest in football.
A goal line stand just gives a defense a tremendous emotional lift, and sometimes turns the momentum of a ball game around for the offensive football team as well. The thing that we preach to our goal line defense is that if they can make it happen down there where it's tough, if we defensively can come up with a great goal line stand, sometimes this is the determining factor in the outcome of a football game.
3rd down, goal to go, Kansas City for the touchdown at the 1. 15 seconds to go. Everybody up there. Pitch to Reed around the left side. He fumbles the ball. A Seahawk. No, still loose. Seahawks driving on it. Still a loose ball. And finally, Seattle recovers. Seahawks win it.
Many times in a goal line situation, defenses commit themselves to the inside gaps and stop the inside running. This is an effective way to keep the team from making a first down on a quarterback sneak or the fullback plunge up the middle. Basic alignment for a goal line defense is for 4 defensive linemen to be in tight charges with the 2 outside linebackers committed. The danger is if the offense gets outside. If you get a great runner outside when everybody's committed inside, you've got the possibility of a touchdown down near the goal line. First thing that has to happen on a goal line defense is that the defensive linemen and the linebackers get good penetration. They have to get down into the inside gaps. They have to get penetration so that the back that has the football can't leap and hurdle the line. Both lines are down low going after each other. And if the defensive line doesn't get any penetration, then the back is going to come up behind him and leap over the top and get the yard or the half a yard that he needs for the touchdown. But if you get the penetration, that means that the leap has to start back further a yard or 2, and the middle linebacker can react and try to leap from behind the defense and cause that stalemate and keep the offense from scoring the touchdown. When a defense gets into a goal line defense, they become vulnerable for play-action passes. If the offensive football team decides to risk it and go play action at this time, it's a tough play for the defense to do because they're so geared on stopping the running game down inside that 5-yard line. In order to be effective in a goal line defense, you have to have low, hard-charging defensive linemen and linebackers, shoot the gaps and keep the runner from going over the top. And if you do this, you're going to stop the running play. And if it is play action, you still got a chance that your cornermen can beat their receivers and stop the play action pass. Great runners seem to smell the goal line, and somehow, some way, they're going to get into the end zone. At times, there seems like there's no way that you can defense against them. There are some great goal line runners that just refuse to be denied. Ronnie Coleman in 1975 was one of these runners in a big play against the Miami Dolphins. He was hit several times behind the line of scrimmage near the goal line, but somehow he managed to break tackles and get into the end zone. Of course, I was unhappy with our tackling, and in this situation, we had the shots, and if we're going to play the great defense, we have to be able to come down with them. But Ronnie had made up his mind that he was going to somehow get into the end zone, and he wasn't denied. It was an outstanding run.
In this presentation, you have seen where a game plan is born and the early stages of its development.
Now, Walt, in your position right here, the thing you're doing on the snap of the ball is I'm checking the blitz right here.
You've seen an actual playbook and felt the intensity that is drawn on its pages.
We can win it. It's going to be a dogfight, and regardless of what happens, just hang in there together.
But hopefully, you've learned to detect the clues that will enable you to understand and enjoy this complex and fast-paced game even more. So use and review these guidelines, for they'll help you to understand how to watch pro football.